Welcome to Anime Fanjutsu, where we talk all things anime. We're back. How was your week, Christian?
Boring. I didn't do nothing.
Christian and I were supposed to go get matching Joestar birthmark tattoos this week, but our tattoo artist had a family emergency and we had to put it off till next Saturday, so sad. Sad panda. What about you, Ryan? How was your week?
It was pretty good.
Did you do anything anime related?
Actually, no, I don't think I watched anime the entire week.
What? I watched a lot of anime this week.
I don't typically like...
I didn't either, except Tokyo Revengers on Saturday.
If I watch anime, I'm like binging it. And if I'm not, I'm just not.
I watched Tokyo Revengers. I watched My Hero Academia. And then I've been binge watching Dr. Stone. But I haven't watched any Bleach or Naruto or Black Butler this week that I've also been watching a lot of.
Or JoJo.
I've got so many shows going right now.
Later we should watch JoJo Part 4.
So you and I both watched Tokyo Revengers, which was the worst cliffhanger ever.
I already started reading the manga.
I also started reading the manga. I haven't got very far.
I found out why everybody online is talking about how bad the animation is for Tokyo Revengers is because the manga art style is super pretty, but they dumbed it down for the anime.
I still love the anime.
Basic.
I'm not watching the anime.
So if you watch the anime, you will notice something very different than if you look it up online. If you look up pictures online for like your desktop wallpaper, and the difference is in the original Tokyo Revengers before it came to the United States and was on Crunchyroll, there are swastikas everywhere. So their jackets have swastikas, their flag has a swastika. It's like their symbol is the swastika. And at first,
what'd you do?
That can seem a little disturbing, but Christian, you just looked it up. So why don't you explain to us the whole swastikas in Tokyo Revengers?
So in Japan, it's not a swastika, it's a Buddhist symbol that doesn't mean anything bad. And they use it as their symbol for the gang in Tokyo Revengers.
I read that they actually use it on maps in Japan to mark sites of Buddhist temples. And also it can mean things like strength or compassion. So they're not Nazis, which is good. They may be Buddhist, but they're not Nazis.
I haven't seen Attack on Titan, but isn't Attack on Titan Nazis?
The music certainly would make you think so.
It's based on it's super imperialist Germany, but it is not... It's technically in a different universe. It's not Nazis. It's not Nazis.
But it's very Nazi-like.
It's as Nazis as Full Metal Alchemist is Nazis.
Full Metal Alchemist is not...
There's a lot, like in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, there's also Nazis.
But those are just real. Those are just Nazis.
There's Nazis everywhere.
Hitler is in the JoJo manga, but they took him out for the anime.
There's Nazis everywhere except Tokyo Revengers that uses the swastikas.
What was the anime you were just talking about that has Nazis in it? Not JoJo's, the other one.
Attack on Titan?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
And Full Metal Alchemist, yeah. No, like, a lot of the main characters are just, like, they're just full-on Nazis. Like, they go to war and just, like...
Like King Bradley?
He's Hitler.
I'm more talking about, like, the people who are, like, just following orders, like, Mustang and, like, his whole crew. Because, like, yeah, they feel bad about it, and they, like, they fix their actions. But they do just, like, do genocide.
The Ishvalans are the Jews. They get mass genocided by the Amestrians.
I don't know that's a verb.
That's a word.
Something else I did this week is I finished Danganronpa 1, the video game. Trigger Happy Havoc.
I've never played that.
It's really good. So if you don't like the fighting element of video games, then you would like it. It's a lot like, from what I understand...
Did you just kill Red?
It's a little bit like Among Us in that people die, you have to investigate and figure out who did the killing. But I don't want to give too much away, but just know that it's in a school.
Red is the imposter.
Red is the imposter. You're in a school and students keep dying. And you have to investigate and solve the mystery. And I finished 1 and I started 2, and it's basically the same game but on an island.
But better. Danganronpa 2 is better than Danganronpa 1.
Is it? Because right now I'm only at the beginning, but it doesn't seem better.
Once you get past the first trial, it's way better.
I feel like the graphics are not as good in the second one, which is weird because it's the second one.
They're better.
I don't think.
Maybe it's because you're playing on a Mac.
It's because it's meant to look like a pixelated video game with your little hope fragments and stuff. But I would highly recommend Danganronpa 1 and possibly 2. We'll see. How many of them are there? 4?
3.
3? I'll probably end up playing all 3
3 and
of
a
them.
spin-off. I've only played the first 2 and part of the spin-off.
I will probably play them all, but number 1 was great, and it kept you guessing until the very end.
Don't say who the killer is.
I won't.
I know it's not one of them.
There's several killers, actually. So if you were in your own anime, and you could pull characters from any other anime and form your friend group, what 3 characters would make up the Ryan anime friend group?
I forgot the third one. Okay, so the first 2 are Inosuke from Demon Slayer, because he's great. I feel like he would be a great friend to have. He just adds so much.
He would defend you for sure.
Well, I mean that too, but like,
and he just has
a great
pig
atmosphere.
head, which is fun.
He just has a great atmosphere to him. I feel like I could have a great conversation with him. My second answer is Mob Psycho. I mean Mob from Mob Psycho.
I was like, I don't know that his name is Mob Psycho.
His name is Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho from Mob Psycho 100.
He's a sweetheart.
Because he's just nice. He'd just be nice to have around.
He is nice.
Yeah.
One more.
He is pretty strong, and that adds to it. I didn't even think of that. He's just nice to have around. He's just a nice little guy. I thought of a third one. I don't remember it. I got distracted by all the Nazi speak.
That happens. We'll come back. What about you,
Oh,
Christian?
wait, no, I remembered it. Because it was from FMAB. We talked about how they're Nazis. Greedling.
That's an interesting choice.
Because I think he's cool. Greedling/Greed. Either
he is
one
cool.
is good. They're both cool.
What about you, Christian? In the Christian anime, who would your 3 BFFs be?
Mine is a weird group. I have Kaho from Blend S.
I don't know what that is.
Matsuda from Death Note.
Which one is that?
He's my favorite character from Death Note.
A silly character from that show.
He's my favorite character from Death Note. He's the least serious character.
Which one?
He's one of the detectives.
Like, describe him.
He's like the goofy detective.
He's the one that does the thing on the balcony.
And he's like the one that's all
That's
about the girl.
That's the only notable thing he does.
Does he like? He's like the young detective
that likes. What's her name?
Yeah, he's like the young guy.
He's my favorite.
He's like the one young
Is
guy.
her name Misa? He like is all about Misa.
Misa.
He's all about Misa.
Yeah,
it's like Lisa. And then my last one is Mitsuya from Tokyo Revengers.
Okay, he's cool.
Which one is that?
President. He's not on the thing. He's the president of the knitting club. I almost picked.
And he can like whoop you too. Like he's really tough and he sews.
He's a really, really nice gangster.
He is, and he's so supportive of the people in his knitting club.
I almost
sewing club. It's the sewing club.
That they also knit. I almost picked Draken, and then I almost picked Chifuyu, but then I picked...
I love Chifuyu.
Then I picked Mitsuya instead.
Don't let his sewing fool you. He is super tough.
Oh yeah, the main character here is he's going to meet like one of the top gangster guys, and then he goes in, and it's the sewing club, and he's wearing a cardigan.
He walks in like, am I in the right place? What's going on here? But the guy's sewing him his very own member's jacket.
He's sewing him his own grave.
No, it's his own member's jacket.
He sews all the jackets for the members.
I mean, somebody's got to make their jackets. It's not like they're a middle school gang. It's not like they have a whole bunch of money coming in where they can order them online.
Yeah, they're all middle schoolers.
So my 3 in my crew would be Kakashi. Because I have to have somebody that's grown. I can't just hang out with all children.
Is that the evil guy you were just talking about?
No, Kakashi's the sensei from Naruto.
What's the evil guy then from Tokyo Revengers?
Kasaki.
Kasaki.
They're both of the same.
Kakashi, Kasaki.
Both of those names sound the same to me because I don't watch either of those shows.
And then Asta from Black Clover.
That's Kakashi.
I know who you're talking about.
Asta.
He never gives up. And he's so kind and so sweet. And so, like you were talking about Mob, that's how I feel about Asta. He's very good-hearted and just fun.
Which one's Asta?
From Black Clover, the guy that
main
doesn't have any
character
magic.
that screams all the time.
And then Killua Zoldyck, just because one, he could protect me if it comes about, like better than either Asta or Kakashi could. And he just seems like a cool kid. He's got a skateboard. He drinks poison. He can be electrocuted, and he doesn't even notice. Like, good times.
He does have a skateboard. That's true.
So we've talked about cool people we would want to hang out with in anime world. And now let's talk about the thorn in my flesh when it comes to watching anime. And that's the pervy characters. Why is there always got to be a perv character in every show?
Sometimes they're good.
I mean, you got Leorio. Leorio is a huge perv. He's like one of the main characters. But why? Why do we have to highlight the
My favorite character in Naruto is Jiraiya.
Pervy Sage, aka Pervy Sage. He's a good character, but like the worst. He's like the worst. And then Mineta, even in My Hero Academia, which is like super kiddie show.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't even like his he's not even redeemable.
No, there's nothing good about him. Like anytime he's in danger and he almost dies, I'm like, good for him. Kill him.
He looks dumb. He says dumb stuff.
Little grape head.
He does terrible things. Like,
there's nothing good about him.
I feel like if they killed him off, like, just now...
The show would be way better.
People would cheer, like...
And that's what kills me, is like, even in the most G-rated kiddie anime, there's always got to be somebody pervy.
You should talk about Fairy Tail, because that's the whole show.
Fairy Tail.
That's why I didn't watch Fairy Tail.
I haven't even touched Fairy Tail, because I know it's bad.
I watched... 5 minutes of the first episode and it failed the boob joke rule, so I turned it off.
Yeah.
And we just quit watching it because it just wasn't going anywhere.
No, I just saw the art style and I was like... And like, I saw like a clip on YouTube, like while I was like going through YouTube.
It makes me think of a coloring book, the art style.
Yeah, no, and I was like, no, this is just basic and probably bad, and I'm just not even gonna try it. And I'm glad I didn't.
Even like, besides Jiraiya, then you have to think about Naruto and his sexy jutsu. His harem jutsu.
What?
His sexy jutsu is where he turns himself into like a naked lady, and then his harem.
And there's little clouds that like cover all of the important parts.
His harem jutsu is when he combines his sexy jutsu with his shadow clone jutsu, and makes like 100 naked ladies.
Why?
Is this ever plot relevant?
Yes, like he beats an old man because he turns into like 100 naked ladies, and he gets a nosebleed and passes out.
I mean, it was plot relevant, so.
Have any of you started watching Star Wars Visions?
No. You said it was an anime?
Yes, it's Star Wars anime. So there's 9 episodes, and each one of them is standalone, and each one of them is done by a different anime studio. Well, not each one of them. There's 9 episodes, and there's 7 studios. So 2 studios get to do 2 episodes. I've seen the first 2. Have either of you ever heard of the studio Kamikaze Doga?
No.
That was who did the very first episode. It was called The Duel.
Are all the episodes out, or just some of them?
All of them came out at one time, so you can binge it.
I'm just gonna watch the ones that look cool. I'm gonna watch both of the Studio Trigger ones.
Watch the first one because it's really good. It's called The Duel. It reminds me of a black and white western, and it's got even the lines on the screen that make it look like it's an old movie. Mm-hmm. But then anything that's a light is in color. So when lightsabers come out, like you see the red lightsaber. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what the lightsaber looks like, skip forward.
I don't.
30 seconds. Imagine if Mary Poppins was a Jedi, or not a Jedi, a Sith, and had a thing where she could shove a lightsaber into an umbrella and make it into a swirling umbrella of lightsabers.
I listened to that and I don't know what you're talking about.
Has it been 30 seconds?
Yes.
Okay.
He said he listened to me say it and he still didn't understand it.
I still don't understand it.
But it's really, really good. And then the second one was by Studio Colorido. It's called Tatooine Rhapsody. And it looks like Gravity Falls. The animation is very Gravity Falls.
Really?
And the first one was like really
serious. The way
serious.
they told me that the first one was super cool and the second one was Gravity Falls.
The first one was like really serious and really like...
Hey, don't insult Gravity Falls. It's a really good show.
It was really intense. And then the second one was kind of just like a fun little 20 minutes of capers.
Gravity Falls is good.
Gravity Falls is great, but it doesn't go with Star Wars.
Yeah, no.
The other studios are Trigger, does 2 of the episodes, which is who you want to see. Kinema Citrus, Production IG, Geno Studio, and then Science Saru does 2 episodes, just like Studio Trigger does.
Mappa should have done one.
Mappa should have done one. Why didn't they?
They were too busy working on Attack on Titan and Chainsaw Man, which
Probably
are both supposed to
true.
come out this year.
So ready.
Or Attack on Titan is in January, and then Chainsaw Man is supposed to be this year or next year.
I can't wait for Chainsaw Man.
And they're both Mappa.
I can't wait for Attack on Titan. I've been waiting for
Jujutsu
months
Kaisen movie.
and months and months to know if
There's
Levi
gonna be a
Ackerman
movie?
is still alive.
Jujutsu Kaisen movies coming out in December in Japan, probably like February or March in America.
And we will be there.
I already read the manga, but I still want to see it because it debuts my favorite character.
Is it?
Or one of my favorite
Is
characters.
it the manga that you had me read?
Mm-hmm.
That's what the movie's going to
Jujutsu
be?
Kaisen 0. It's the one with Yuta and the
Oh, yes. Okay. I
and
remember now.
Toge, the sushi guy.
So a lot of people that are listening probably are already anime fans, but for those that are not, or for those that are and don't have a lot of experience with different genres, I wanted to talk about the different genres of anime. So the most familiar to most people is shonen, which started out as just a demographic. Shonen equals young boys, but now has turned into a full-on genre.
Yeah.
And most of the shows that I have watched have been shonen.
Shonen
Shonen
where,
is
like,
the best.
Shonen is where all the good anime is.
So what's your favorite shonen?
FMAB is really good.
Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter is amazing.
My top 5 are all shonen.
That's true.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Hunter x Hunter,
JoJo.
JoJo. Really good. No, those are like
My
top
Hero
10.
Academia is a really popular now.
It's
Not
definitely-
really good, though.
It's definitely popular.
I like it.
It sure is popular.
Then the girl version of shonen,
I thought you were going to say the girl version of My Hero Academia. I thought, what is that?
I don't know, but I'd watch it probably. The girl version of shonen is shoujo.
I haven't seen any JoJo. That's
So,
like
Sailor Moon.
I've been wanting to watch Sailor Moon.
I tried to watch Sailor Moon, and their voices were
But that
so
was
annoying.
before you liked any anime.
But their voices were so annoying.
I tried to
couldn't
watch
take
Hunter x
it.
Hunter before I watched any anime, and I stopped. And then I went back.
Maybe if I watched it subbed instead of dubbed. I tried to watch a dub, and they
Well,
talk like
that's
this,
the problem
and I
with
just
any
couldn't take
anime.
it.
Yeah.
Any anime dub. In the JoJo dub, they speak British.
They do!
In the first 2 parts,
They
because it's
do!
realistic. But then in all the other parts, they don't give them an accent in English.
I really like the sub a lot better
Like-
because I feel like I can get an idea of the feeling meant behind it when I hear it spoken in the original
In part
language.
1 and 2, they're British because they're supposed to be British. But then in part 3, Avdol and Polnareff and everybody are all from different countries and they all speak with the American accent.
The FMAB dub is better than the sub.
It's the only one where I say that.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Specifically because, it's mainly because of, what's his name? Armstrong. His voice, it carries the entire
And his
show.
sister's voice.
They carry the entire show.
I love her.
They
She's
carry
the
their,
best female
entire
anime
show on their
character.
back.
She is. Okay, next is Seinen. It's
Like Steins Gate.
it's like shonen but for grown boys instead of little boys.
what was it
Steins
again?
Gate,
Seinen.
Bungo Stray Dogs.
Bungo Stray Dogs is
Is
a really good
Uh-huh.
example.
It's more for adults than children.
You don't get the high school life.
Oh, so like the separation is like the age of the main characters essentially.
Sort of, but
It's
JoJo
more
is
like
still
who-
shonen, and they're like
Who it's
grown up.
geared towards audience
Well,
wise.
no, they look grown up, but Jotaro is 17, and Josuke is like
He's 35.
Josuke
Don't lie
is-
to me.
Jotaro is 17.
Josuke is 14.
you-
Jonathan is like 19.
Did you
Joseph is like
Jotaro
18.
is the same age as his little buddy.
you guys okay?
What's his little buddy's name?
In part 5 there's
in
like
part
a
4,
Yeah.
Koichi.
Yeah, he's the
In
same
part
age.
3, he's the same age as Koichi is in part 4.
in part 5 there's like it's not even like a flashback scene fully, but it's like a flashback panel essentially to like Jotaro from part 3,
And he's so
He
skinny.
looks like an actual 17-year-old in the part 5
Because in
art.
part 5 art style, everybody's skinny instead of being buff. After part 3, the buffness wears out.
No, it's part 4 is the transition period because like the first issue of
Because Josuke is like half buff.
yeah the first
Half buff.
no the first
He
volume
only did leg day. He didn't do arms.
no the first volume he's just as buff as Jotaro, and then like the last volume he's like thin but like not like very muscular, like not terribly muscular, and like he's doing the pose, you know, like the iconic Josuke pose.
Uh-huh.
So just how shonen has the girl counterpart of shoujo, seinen also has a female counterpart called josei. And I looked up how to say these on the internet. I may not be saying them correctly, but josei is like the grown lady version of shoujo.
I don't know any of those.
Instead of like
You're lying,
little
April.
little girl BFFs that are talking about the boys they like. It's like grown women.
Violet Evergarden. I want to watch that.
It's on my to-watch list.
I watched like the first couple episodes and then I forgot about it.
She's like
It's
Edward
good
Elric.
though. It's good.
The next one is one that sounds really inappropriate, even though I don't think most of the shows that have it are inappropriate, and that is harem.
It's a red flag for like the quality of a show. It's not a death sentence. What I'm saying is like, the average anime with a harem in it is significantly below the average anime in general.
I
in
would
quality.
I would agree with that, even though I've not seen any. Because the reason I've not seen
There
any
can be good ones.
is that.
But like it's,
Do you have any examples?
It's like isekai. It's
Which is our next category.
which is also
Usually not
far
good.
below the average anime.
But isn't ReZero an isekai?
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I don't like
That's
it.
what I'm
And
saying.
it's
It's the
so
average.
good.
No, ReZero is probably like one out of like 2 anime. That
Only
I'd say are
weirdos
legitimately
like
good.
ReZero.
I love ReZero. I'm gonna be Rem for Halloween.
But you're not a normal ReZero fan. Normal
You're not a
ReZero
normal-
fans have like naked Rim figure on their shelf.
That's just
There's so many Rim in bathing suit figures.
That's not appropriate.
It is
And
not,
Ram-
but it's
Ram-
true.
Ram gets none of the
Tell
love.
us what
It's all
isekai is.
when somebody gets is from like usually just the normal world, and then they like either die or somehow get transported to a different world. That's what it is.
Would Tokyo Revengers count since he gets
No.
transported to his own past?
It's the same world. That's a time travel anime.
It's a what?
It is
Yeah,
a
you
time
wouldn't
travel
tell.
anime.
You know Erased? Have you seen Erased?
No.
It's kind of like
I can't
Erased.
explain it then.
I don't know what erased is.
So imagine
I should probably
if
do
this
that.
guy's like, how old is he? Like 21,
He's like 20.
and he gets sent back in time to when he's in middle school to try to prevent the deaths of people he loves that happen in the future.
Which one's the main character?
Takamichi.
So basically, it's him jumping between the future and the past,
So he's
trying
like
to stop things.
so he's like a 21-year-old in a child's body.
Yes.
So Sword Art Online would be an isekai because they're
Yes.
in a video
It's,
And
game.
it's bad.
it is
It's
the
bad.
standard for
Terrible.
isekai
It
badness.
is, no. Well,
But ReZero is the standard for isekai goodness.
no. I will say
guess.
this. In my opinion, there are 2 legitimately good isekai.
If you say Konosuba,
I'm not. I do not.
Konosuba is bad.
Konosuba can be
No.
really
Oh,
funny,
and I forgot
but
to
it's
say-
not good.
Isekais usually have a bunch of boob jokes too.
They do. It's anyway.
And ReZero has those.
It does. ReZero and that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
I see
haven't
so
watched that
much
yet.
about that, but I've not watched
It
it.
has really good world building. The one thing
The
holding
name
it back.
makes me not watch it. And it's funny because you'll notice a lot of animes, like the way the title gets translated is a whole sentence, but the time I got reincarnated as a
No,
slime
there
just
are so
sounds
many.
like a weird name.
I think it's like also it's also shortened as like Tensei slime.
People call it slime isekai.
What about
It's really good.
the genre mecha?
I haven't seen any mecha that I like unless you count
Does
Attack on Titan.
Evangelion
Unless you count
count?
Attack on Titan.
Is that mecha or
Attack on Titan is technically mecha.
is there another word for like
Evangelion's mecha.
The
is that
Gundam.
mecha?
Gundam is mecha.
Gundam is mecha. Okay, so yeah.
Gundam is like the first mecha.
Yeah, Evangelion. It's confusing.
It's really popular.
Attack on Titan is just mecha under the guise of fantasy, and that's why I like it. Only.
I mean, is Alphonse a mecha?
No, but Aaron is.
If
Is he? Does it count if it's like not a robot? Does it count if it's
It's
a
the
Titan?
same thing.
If-
They're fighting in the. It's
if-
just that's
That is
exactly
true
what they
because his
do.
body's inside of there.
if it may be all the alchemists like formed giant beings out of like stuff around them to fight,
And
that
they
would be a
fought in
mecha.
them?
It would
It's
be
like that
but
episode of
because
Phineas
his
and
body's
Ferb.
not there at all, it doesn't count.
Well, no, it's because like he's the one person who.
Yeah, there's only
but
one.
it's not even
If
mecha.
all
It's
of them
just
are
like
like
a
that, it
suit
might
of
be.
armor.
Right.
You know,
Okay, Slice of Life is the next one.
Slice of Life is actually. Really
I've only watched a couple slice of life that are good.
What have you watched?
Blend S is a slice of life.
I watched 3 episodes of that.
Is it just like watching a sitcom, but it's animated?
Yeah. You should watch Blend S. It's only
I
like
feel
12
like-
typically.
episodes.
I feel like if there's not like monsters or magic, I'm probably not going to be in.
Watch Blend S. It'll be your first one. It's good. Let me see if I have any others. that
Is
I've seen.
Fruits Basket a slice of life?
I think it has like.
I think it is.
story.
I've never seen.
No, I
it.
think it's like one of those sad story ones. Well, no,
could
that's
be.
how Your Lie in April is. I don't know.
The
about
only thing I
Fruits
know about Fruits Basket is that they sell a lot of their stuff at Hot Topic, and it doesn't look exciting to me. And Christian just gave me some hot cash, so maybe we'll get anime stuff with it. What about you, Ryan? Slice of life.
I was just thinking about, like, because, like, I've seen a few slices of life anime, and I enjoy them. But, like, I can't remember now. I guess there's two, but both of them I never really watched the anime, because one of them doesn't even have one. But I read, there's two, like, slice of life manga that I've read. Komi-san Can't Communicate, which is really good.
I think that's getting an anime.
It is, at some point. I don't really know. And Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Kaguya-sama Love is War was good for, like, I watched 4 episodes and I got tired.
No attention span. You can't judge it.
I watched 4 episodes and I got tired of the gimmick, and it's just the gimmick is the same thing every episode. It is, and I got tired of the gimmick.
Once they establish the gimmick, they can go outside of the bounds of the gimmick to make it interesting, but you didn't get that far.
If they do the same thing for the first 4 episodes, I'm gonna get bored.
They don't. It gets so much, like, more real.
They should have started out real.
Especially
is it a
where the
spoiler
manga
alert
goes.
to tell me what the gimmick is?
No.
What is the gimmick?
The gimmick is it's Kaguya-sama Love is War. There's 2 characters. One of them is like a rich girl, and the other is just like a poor guy who's like really good at school. And they're the principal.
It's like you, Christian.
They're the principal and the vice principal, not the president and the vice president of the student council, and they both like each other, but they're trying to trick the other one into telling the other one that they like them, so that they don't.
It's a love story.
It's a love story. They don't.
But it's like
basically, they don't want to come across as weak, and they're trying to trick the other one into admitting it. Basically.
That sounds
and
frustrating.
So, you know how they do, like, you know in Death Note how he'll, like, super analyze stuff?
It's that!
They, like, go super in-depth analyzing the other person, but it's just about, like, having a crush on him. It's like, I can see that he's blushing a little bit. No, I'm gonna do this, but if I did that, that would be too obvious, so I have to do this. But then if I do that, he might think that I'm doing this because I knew that would be too obvious.
I didn't even like Death Note, and it had all the other things that I like in it.
In the manga. Love is war. No, the manga's so good, though.
Y'all, speaking of openings...
Dr. Stone?
Dr. Stone is killing me. Good morning, world.
I haven't even seen the anime.
It's pretty good.
But I like the opening.
It's such a good anime.
Where are you? Are you gonna watch it, Christian?
Probably.
Oh, okay. I just remember 2 different slice of life animes. The Disastrous Life of Psyche K.
Oh, that's really on my list. I'm gonna watch it.
I've seen it.
Mob Psycho is almost slice of life in the first season.
It's very fight monsters.
No, but it's the way Mob Psycho does it is it's slice of life in the first half of the season, and the second half it actually decides to do story.
Yeah.
But, like, the story stuff with, like, the evil organization doesn't get mentioned until, like, the 7th
No, because the whole point of Mob Psycho is that, like, he's literally just, like...
He just wants to be normal.
He wants to be normal. And
he's like One Punch Man.
He's working on himself. And then, like, the plot...
So great.
And then the plot comes to him. But it's not a bad thing, because it's not actually,
the plot comes to him.
But it's not like the plot is, like, following the characters. It's, like, the main plot is, like, him becoming a better person and, like, trying to, like, branch out.
Oh, yeah, it's not...
But he is an Esper.
It's not like him going out, like, wanting to be the Hokage.
Which I feel like Slice of Life doesn't include the supernatural.
Oh, no. Psyche K is about a psychic.
No,
that can do whatever he wants.
And
his name is Psychic.
No,
Psyche
That's
K.
like when you're the killer and your name is Kira. No. That happens a lot.
Kira was... I can't remember his name. What's his last name? Part 4.
What? Yoshikage Kira?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a killer, and then Kira from Death Note
and
is a killer.
His name is Killer Queen.
Kira Queen.
Killer Queen.
Kira in Death Note is because they nicknamed them Killer. So that's not a name. That's because they call them Killer because they're a killer.
His name is Kira. It's kind of obvious, guys.
What's the other slice of life you were thinking of?
They got a talking cat with like a red bandana, and they got a robot with a wind-up gear in their back, and they got like a 6-year-old scientist who made the robot, and then they got like 3 middle schoolers or high schoolers. I don't know which one it is.
This sounds like it'll be easy to Google.
And they have like, one has like blue hair, the other one has like orange or red hair, and the other one has like black hair. And like, they go on like all this wacky hijinks, but it's just like normal school.
Nichijou?
Yeah! That's what it is. It's really good. Like, one of the scenes is, like, one character grabs another character's, like, notebook for some reason, because, like, they're trying to, like, see something that's in it, and they run down the hallway, and it's, like, it's animated, like, so intensely, and it's, like, the colors change. It goes to black and white, and, like, it's blurs and everything. It's, like, really beautifully animated.
Oh, I want to watch
And it's
this.
just them running down a hallway.
How do you say it again, the name of it?
Nichijou?
Nichijou.
Hold on, let me... Yeah.
And it's a slice of life.
Yeah.
I feel like I live life every day, so I don't have to watch it.
You don't live this
That's
cool
the robot,
life.
That's the child scientist, and that's the cat with the red bandana.
Wait, where's the robot?
And he talks.
The big one is the robot.
That's a robot? Oh. I see the thing in the back. Or a little wind-up.
And she has missile hands.
That would also be a good cosplay.
It's very nice. It's a very good anime. It's slice of life.
The last genre is the genre that is not for young boys or young girls, but is for actually like really, really young kids. And it's called Kodomomuke, if I'm saying that correctly. I may not be saying that correctly, but it includes things like Anpan Man. What's the other one?
Doraemon.
Pokemon.
Not Pokemon, that's a shonen.
Pokemon is a shonen.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's made for younger kids, but it's made for like kids and not like babies.
Pokemon is like the Gravity Falls.
Hamtaro.
And Peppa Pig is like Doraemon.
Yeah.
Doraemon is Peppa Pig and Pokemon is Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
And Phineas and Ferb.
I said that was the last one. There's one more. And this is one I had not heard of until I was actually doing research for this podcast. But I want to talk about it because it sounds cool. And it is Iyashika. And it is basically a genre that would overlap with other genres because it is a genre that when you watch it, you feel relaxed. It just makes you feel good to watch it.
I'd say a lot of slice of life anime are like that.
I feel like Totoro is like that when I watch Totoro. That's one of the reasons I love keeping Totoro on as like background noise is because it's just soothing. The colors are pretty. There's not a whole bunch of life or death situations. If you are liking Anime Fanjutsu and you would like to buy us a coffee, we have a link to buy me a coffee and we would love for you to be one of our awesome supporters. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts and be sure to follow Anime Fanjutsu on Instagram. We are at Anime Fanjutsu.